everybody, Ashton from Show Me Vegas, and I'm actually getting ready to go to Vegas alone for a conference. So guess it's time to get to the airport. Over the last couple of years, people have been saying how Vegas isn't as safe as it used to be. Now, while there might be some truth to that, we haven't found it to be unsafe. But if you are worried at all, there are some things you can do to make it safer. So in this video, I'm going to give you 6 different tips on how to make your travel to Las Vegas safer, especially if you're traveling alone like me. So when taking a rideshare, there's always going to be a risk involved, whether you're doing Uber, Lyft, or a taxi. However, if you're traveling alone, I always recommend at least taking an Uber or a Lyft, just for safety standards. So with Uber and Lyft, you actually do have to use the app, and they know exactly who you checked in with. So there is that safety that they know exactly who you were with and that you did get on that ride. Within the app of Uber and Lyft, there is also a little area that you can push a button for help, especially if you feel something amiss or you don't feel safe. So again, I know, like I said, there's always different risk involved with it, but I do recommend taking a Lyft or an Uber over a taxi just because of the tracking. All right, so we've all heard the old metaphor about taking the road less traveled. Especially traveling as a solo female, I do not recommend that. Always take the busier street where there's a bunch of people surrounding you. If anything happens, you could always call out for help. Now, something else I do recommend that I do always carry with me, especially when traveling solo, is going to be a little pocket mace. Again, just an extra bit of safety to have with you in case something happens. So if you watch the Las Vegas news, you know recently there has been an increase of room break-ins. So first off, some hotels don't either have a good safety latch or a deadbolt. Even if you do, there has been a recent video surfaced lately on social media that shows someone bringing in a wire hanger up underneath the door and literally pulling the handle, the security latch, to be able to open the door that way. That's scary. So if you're traveling alone, or honestly, you don't even need to be alone, there's always things you can do to help keep your safety in mind. Number one is I always bring out this little alarm doorstop. I bought mine off Amazon. It's really cheap, but it's super sensitive. And I'll show you, all you do is slide it underneath the door. So if someone tries to get into your room and open that door, it's gonna push this down and the alarm is gonna sound. It's really loud. So it's about 120 decibels. So my neighbors are gonna hate me if they're here next door, but I'm gonna push it and then turn it off real quick to show you just how loud it is. So that's how loud it is. That for sure would wake you up, as well as probably be enough to scare off anybody trying to get into your room. So again, I just want to show you really quickly. All you need to do is, of course, be sure it's on, and then just place it right there underneath your door. Anybody comes in, it's going to alarm. Just another way to keep you safe. So another really good safety tip is going to be, first off, letting someone know where you're going to be traveling to and essentially kind of what your itinerary is. So since I'm out here alone, Jordan back home pretty much knows my itinerary, you know, where I'm going to be eating each night. Another great safety tip, and this is going to be your technology that you have on you at all times, is going to be using a location tracker. So I know it differs between Android products and Apple products. I use an Apple phone, so I always do the Find My Phone app. So just always make sure that you have your location shared shared with someone that you trust. So since I'm out here solo, Jordan pretty well knows, you know, my itinerary, where I'm going to be, but in case he's unsure, he could always track it and find me. If something seems to be amiss, I'm somewhere way off grid or somewhere I shouldn't be, he could either try to contact me, but it's a good way to use, you know, especially if something were to happen, they can track my last location. So again, just being smart and using your technology to your benefit. So a big safety tip, especially as a female, is when you are getting in an elevator, if someone comes in with you and you ever feel uncomfortable with that person being in there, especially if they don't select a room number and they get off when you do on your floor, do not go to your room and let them know where your room is. Just walk around and go down to the lobby and just wait to make sure that, again, they're not going to be coming into the same floor as you. So a piece of advice is, of course, never giving out your hotel or your room number especially. This also goes when you're in a bar or a restaurant. If you're wanting to charge to your room, a lot of the times the waitress or waiter will come over to ask, you know, what hotel are you staying at, along with your room number and your name. So number one is make sure that you aren't within hearing distance of anybody, because if you say this, again, that could be someone that figures out exactly where you're staying. So if you can, they should give you a receipt that you can write down all that information without having to verbally speak it out. So just again, another precautionary thing to be aware of. All right, so as you can see, I'm back home safe and sound. Hopefully you found these tips to be really informative if you do travel to Las Vegas solo, or honestly anywhere else for that matter. So comment down below with some of your favorite safety measures when you're traveling, especially solo. And if you found this video entertaining or helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our channel, because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas. Bye guys.